this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com. Welcome to another Shaky Cam interior review. This time we are in the 2015 Lexus, just make sure I get this right, GX450 or 460, GX460. Yeah, pretty sure that was right. Yeah, this is a great crossover. It's a SUV. This is sort of a I think I would say I guess it's I think it's basically a Land Rover with a lot of luxury stuff in it. That's how I would put it. This is it's a nice SUV, but it's an actual sport utility. It's capable of actually going off-road, actually doing stuff, actually going places. I took it out into the hinterlands this week and bounced it around a little bit. It just did very awesome. It's a good vehicle. You might remember last year we had the LX570. I may have it again this year, I don't know, but you remember I had it last year, and that is an exceedingly off-road capable luxury SUV. This is its smaller companion. It still has this SUV still has a third row, but there's almost no cargo space when you have the third row up. So it is a mid-size SUV. It is not a full-size, but it is beefy and strong, has a powerful V8, just a great vehicle. So we're going to quickly go over the interior. If you're familiar with the Lexus SUVs, then you'll already recognize most of this. Down here you have your mirror control, or window and mirrors, or windows, I mean, down here, of course, and then up here's your mirrors. And then you have your dimmers, your odometer button, and then a few of your things, heated steering wheel. In the weather we've been having, that's important to know. Traction control, that turns itself off when you are in 4-wheel low, but this is in 4 high all the time. Full-time 4-wheel drive, so you do need to physically turn that off if you're planning to do some off-roading and you don't want it. And this is for the headlight washers, which are a really cool luxury item that is totally useless. And here's your fuel port and engine. So over here is your lighting controls. Most of the time I've just left it on auto. I've gotten to like automatic mode in luxury vehicles like Lexus that where it actually works. Some cars you put it on auto mode and it's kind of iffy, but I really like it, so all I have to do is run the brights if I want them and the turn signals. This right here is kind of a throwback, but it's I'll be honest with you, unless it's nighttime, you actually can't see those lights. They're showing up really well on the camera, but when I'm looking at them physically straight ahead on my own, I can't see them at all. So they're really dark. So it's interesting. The camera's picking them up so well. Here we have, of course, your washer wipers. Twist it back and forth for the rear back there, and of course up front. Then you have some steering wheel controls. These right here are fairly obvious. Audio here and selection for the audio, and then this changes the mode on the radio or on that infotainment screen. And this right here changes your camera view. So if you're parallel parking, you can change it so that it shows the right-hand side rather than the rear, and that's really kind of cool. You can also do it from the touchscreen, which I'll probably show you in a minute, because it's fairly new to Lexus. It's a pretty cool idea. Over here you have the telematics and stuff. This controls what's going on up there, so you can select and change things from up there. This is of course hands-free voice, and then you have your LDA and your cruise control following distance. This has active cruise control. This is kind of a new thing to Lexus, and to be honest, it needs a little refinement, because when you run this button and when you get close to somebody, and it starts to slow down for them, it doesn't ease into slowing down to pace them. It just suddenly starts stopping to pace them. It's a little disconcerting. I don't like the feel of it. It needs a little work, but it's there, and it's one of the greatest inventions ever. Down here you have your cruise control, of course. Then looking at the dashboard, at the instrument cluster, RPM gauge over here. You can manually shift on the shifter, which if you're doing real off-road, you might want to be able to do. So having that tachometer is a good idea. Up here you have your engine heat, your fuel level. Fuel economy in this is decent, but you know, it has a large tank, which offsets the fact that it sucks it down. Over here you have your speedometer, of course. This has a beefy V8. Does really, so you can be well over 80 merging onto the freeway if you want. I haven't done any faster than that because this really isn't a sports car, but yeah, our freeway speeds are 80 miles an hour here, and you can easily be merging at 80 miles an hour. Over here is your information screen, I guess I would say. You can do a lot in that screen to control the vehicle and change things. It's very nice and useful. Down here's I have it on the trip meter. It would also show your odometer. You can see I put about 293 miles on it this week. And then this stuff's pretty self-explanatory. This right here is your airbag level. So if I drop them, you see it goes down to low. So it's lowers the vehicle. I don't know the exact number, but it's just looking at it, I would guess it's around 2 inches. I will look that up and try to put that across the bottom of the screen as you're viewing this, so you know exactly what the travel is. And then you can raise it up higher, so you have more body clearance when you're off the road a little bit. That's the kind of thing that can save your running boards and things like that. So important to know it's there if you do a lot of off-roading. Over here's your infotainment screen. One thing I don't like that Lexus did is that it's difficult to do things like just change its fan speed. You have to go into the climate. There's the hard button right there, and do it manually. There's no dial or buttons to do it. Little things like that kind of add up in terms of ergonomics. But there are a lot of easy quick screens, and this is Lexus's version of Toyota's Entune, and it's pretty good. It's not the best on the market, but it's not the worst either. So this is of course keyless, and this has three-way temperature control. So you have left side, right side, and rear. You turn the rear on and off here, and you can control temperature for the rear up in here if you want, or they have their own little console in the back that they can do it from the center console. Then the rest of it's pretty obvious, defrosts and turn everything off, all that. Down here is a display that shows you what's going on. Also your CD player, and then this will show you some CD stuff, but mostly you're going to probably control it up there. And then this is volume, tuning. These knobs I think are more for aesthetics than actual use, because they're pretty slippery and they're kind of small, so they you have to kind of get a good grip on them before you can turn them and move them. I still use old school tuning, so I use those a lot, but these are kind of secondary. They're expecting you to use this more. And then of course the track controls and stuff, so there you go. Down here we have heated and cooled seats, so heated seating where you can turn it the other way and it cools. In here you have some added stuff that goes with the upgraded audio and stuff, so you have some extra plugs and a few things. And this is a spot where you could probably put a phone. I didn't, because when I set my phone in there, it's almost straight up and down, so it falls forward a lot. So it's up to you what you want to do in there. Here's your off-road controls. So you have your shifter over here, and then you can manually shift. Here's your off-road controls. Normally I've had it in comfort. You can put it in sport mode. Sport mode gives it a little bit stiffer, changes the shifting pattern a little bit, but it's otherwise it's exactly the same drive otherwise. Comfort mode is much better when you're on the highway and things because it cushions a little more and most importantly, it keeps that body roll and bounce. It dampens that a lot, so it's a much better ride. This is how you control the airbags. You can just turn them off so they go away, or you can go up and down. If you shift into, you can set up some automatic stuff so it does it on its own. That's why it has an off button. Then over here, here's your creeper. So you can set the creep speed, and you can speed it up. You can turn it on and then speed it up and down. Over here is your 4-wheel control. So it's in 4 high all the time, and then you can put it in 4 low here. And then you have your drink holders under here, and you have a gigantic cubby down in there. That's the tray that's actually supposed to be sitting up here. I knocked it down. And then these individually slide forward like this, which is kind of nice, little armrests. And you can see the black leather in here. You can see the, it's basically an all black interior with some cherry wood accent. I like the cherry wood. Normally I don't like the redwood in a car, but in here it offsets this really well, so it looks really good. I really like this, this brushed nickel look. So it's a very, very nice interior. You have a good sized back row, and then there's a third row back there. I will note that third row, getting in and out of it, very difficult, and it's really only sized for kids because this is just a mid-size SUV. It is not a large, full, huge SUV. So, you know, it's sized for kids, and that second row does not fold forward very well to get a lot of access back there. But you know, it's doable, it's usable. We used it one time this week, loaded some people. We had 6 of us, or 5 of us going somewhere, and so we put kids in the very back, and it worked out really well. So there you go. That's the 2015 Lexus, let me make sure I'm saying it right again, GX460, or 450, GX450. Yeah, I probably screwed that all up. It doesn't matter. This is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and we'll talk to you again soon.